So, the first rule of Fight Club, no, sorry, wrong video. I'm out here today, and overcast morning. It was supposed to have rained, but apparently it's not going to. This is great. It's really nice and cool, and I'm going to get out here and show you some of the latest, my latest haul from yesterday, and we'll take a look at these mowers real quick. So these came from the same person, actually. These four, and then those two weed eaters over there, and they don't look too bad. The Toro looks like in pretty good shape. The Echo looks like it's definitely been used, but that's one of my favorite brands or machines there, an Echo, and I'll probably work on it because I have some Echo parts and tune-up kits that I use on my own. So hopefully I'll get that going, and we'll have a couple of the Echoes to use. And this one I'll probably, if I get it running, I'll probably give it back to her. She didn't have another weed eater. This is a lady down the street. I know she said she doesn't like weed eaters. She had an accident that's and she doesn't like to use them, but if I get it running, if she wants it, I'll show her how to use it, and hopefully no mishaps. But she had all this stuff. This is one of those walk behind brush cutters, and I've got one that I use on my other property in East Texas, and it really works really good. I mean, it's kind of specialized. It's if you got really heavy overgrowth, and down in some ditches and stuff like that, you can really reach it with this thing. So I'll work on that. Toro, this one, and there's the old filter, and I put this back on just so I wouldn't lose it, but it looks like they had taken it apart and probably just couldn't get it running or whatever. But just looking at it, I haven't tried to pull anything, and speaking of that, you can see the pull rope is definitely hanging there. So I haven't tried any of these yet. This one, a real nice machine. This one I'm gonna get it running and give back to her, so she'll have something to mow her yard with. Pretty nice Troy built there. 7.75 rear wheel drive. That's a rear wheel drive too. The Troy built XP. So that's a pretty nice machine. And then she had one of these. This Lawn Boy. Is this a 2-cycle? Yep. 2-cycle. Doesn't have the aluminum deck. I have one that I guess it's a little older. The other generation of the past generation of 2-stroke machines, and mine has the thick aluminum deck. This is definitely a stamped metal. Still has a good blade. Don't see too many of these around anymore. Guess there's just not a big demand for 2-cycle engines. I kind of like it, especially if you're on a hilly terrain, and moving up and down. You don't have to worry about oil being circulated when you're cutting at an angle. And this one should have quite a bit of torque. I'll have to look up the specs on that engine, but they're kind of neat. I still have one, but to get these going, I'm going to work on this one first so I can get it back to her. And I gave her a loaner so she can get the yard done, her and her kids. And I'll get that back to her. But first thing, I guess, I'm going to grab the hose and hose these suckers off. I don't know the story behind these, but apparently it was her husband or ex or whatever was going to get into small engine repair, but apparently unsuccessful. I don't think he got any of these running, so I just gave him a loaner, and then they gave me these machines. So I'm going to hose them down, get them cleaned up, and then I'm going to get started on this Troy belt here. Okay, so I hosed them down real quick, gave them a quick cleanup, and they look better already. This one looks great. A few scratches on that one. That one looks a ton better. This one had a bunch of oil and caked up stuff underneath here on the steel wheels, some rust and some rust on the handle. So this one, I just noticed it's a electric start too. There's the battery on it. And do we have a key? Yes, we have the key. So I'm gonna go with this one at a later date. You know, I'm gonna spray some engine cleaner or degreaser and get the power washer after it and get it cleaned up. But we'll get to that. And the weed eaters look a little better. That Echo looks a ton better. And I'll probably clean it up a little more when I take it apart and fix everything. I'll probably end up cleaning all the individual parts into there. It was pretty nasty, but it's looking good. We'll just have to see if we can get it running. So with this one, we'll start with this, and we'll start with the basic troubleshooting.